GoHighLevel is the most popular all-in-one platform to run your agency or your business, and in this video I'll show you everything a beginner needs to know about HighLevel. So let's start by covering what HighLevel actually does. Because it does so many different things, I constantly see beginners and, to be honest, experts also confused about what HighLevel really is. So HighLevel is kind of like an operating system for a business, and it's kind of like a marketing and sales platform that basically has everything you need. And the goal is to replace your website, your email provider, your CRM. HighLevel basically has everything into one place. And so we'll dig deeper into this and the core features to give you a broad overview. Now, to start, if you're running a business, you'll need to get leads and capture leads and potential customers, which we can do in HighLevel. You can store these contacts, and you can also create automations and send automated messages, meaning that you can book appointments and you can create a calendar and you can connect all your social media into one place and manage conversations and track everything in your business, including the sales pipeline. Now, this sounds like a lot of stuff, but basically what it does is HighLevel can help your business not just generate more leads, but effectively move these leads through the pipeline into buyers and becoming, well, essentially customers, all in one place. Now, when we talk about HighLevel, a big reason why people use it is going to be to save money. When you're running a business, you normally need so many different softwares, and HighLevel can replace many of them for a pretty affordable price. They have a starter plan, which is if you're running a small business, and you get pretty much everything included in this one plan that you need. If you're running an agency or a bigger business, I would recommend their unlimited plan, and if you're a software company, they have this advanced agency pro plan, but that's not really relevant for most people. They also have a free trial, and it's always a good idea to try something before you buy, to see if it's actually worth it for you. And in the description below, I'm going to leave an extended free trial, twice as long, so you can try it completely for free. Now, how does HighLevel actually work? Let's start. The first thing that you should know about is going to be the agency dashboard. Now, when you go into HighLevel, this is kind of like your main account. But if you're running an agency or you have clients or you have, different accounts that you need, you can simply create a sub-account in GoHighLevel. This means that each client can have their own CRM or HighLevel account where you're able to separate the pipelines, the contacts, the websites, everything that you do, separate it. Because obviously you don't want to mix them up, you want to keep everything separated for each client or each account. Now, the next really good feature with HighLevel is going to be snapshots. And snapshots are kind of like pre-built templates. You can either create them yourself and simply reuse what you make for another account or another time that you might need it, but you can also use a lot of their templates that they've created for you for pretty much anything. I mean, you can grab a template for a funnel, you can grab a snapshot of a workflow, a pipeline, a form, whatever you need. And the idea here is that instead of building everything manually, both for yourself and for your clients, you're able to load either your own system that you've already made or their pre-created system with templates right away. And so if you're working with a gym or you're working with a dental office, you can simply find a template and just customize it to that specific client rather than having to build everything from scratch, which saves you a lot of time in your business. Now, let's talk about leads. How do you actually capture leads and get customers using HighLevel? And this is where everything starts. I mean, no leads, no customers, no fun. So you have plenty of lead sources right in HighLevel, but you can also integrate pretty much anything that you have outside of HighLevel. We have the forms that you can create to, well, essentially people apply or fill out more info or book a call. You've also got the websites, the landing pages, the calendar, as we talked about. But what I really like is how it actually connects with Instagram, Facebook, or anything like that. So you could simply get leads that way, where people send you a DM on Instagram and that kind of becomes the lead. But the most important thing here is that you don't need to manage all of these lead sources and all these social medias separately. You could just get them into one place. A visitor might fill out a form, a contact is now created automatically in HighLevel, and so your lead is now in the CRM. Now, the next step of the process is going to be your pipeline. You now have a lead in your system and you want to convert him slowly or quickly into a buyer. Here's a simple example. Somebody started an application, but they never booked a call with you. You then get that lead into your system and it automatically sends up follow-up messages that you created. These messages are timed and gets them to finally book an appointment. On that call, you pitch them something and you sell and you get a customer. With HighLevel, you can track where every lead is in your funnel and in the process, and what should be done to move them along and get them closer to buying. And that is how you increase LTV, or lifetime value of a lead, by catching and following up with prospects where they are instead of letting them fall through the cracks in your funnel. And we do that, of course, also by creating automations, which is the next step. You can pretty much automate anything with HighLevel, and all you need is going to be a trigger which activates your automation, such as a sign up, somebody DMs you a specific word on Instagram, and you can really make it as detailed or customized as you want. And that trigger then creates an action, which can be creating a contact, sending an SMS, an email, anything you need. And so these automations help you save time, respond faster, and just automate boring business processes. So my personal favorite, or one of my favorites I should say, parts of HighLevel is going to be conversations. Now, in this kind of dashboard thing, you'll find your unified inbox. And we've already covered this briefly, but I just have a few more things I want you to know. So in your business, you might be running different social media accounts. You probably should. And you might have all sorts of different contacts with your clients or leads, such as email, SMS, Facebook, Instagram, and calls. And HighLevel can manage all of this in one place in a unified inbox. So you don't need to log into Instagram and pick up your phone to send a text. It's all centralized in HighLevel's conversations dashboard, where you can also use templates to answer messages more efficiently. You can even make calls to your clients directly inside of HighLevel, and you can also see the contact history and even analyze the calls and see how a conversation connects to a lead and where that lead is in the pipeline and much more. Basically, just get a lot of information about each client and each lead. Now, who's HighLevel actually for? Should you use it, or is there a better alternative for you? I'm gonna be straight to the point here. HighLevel is not always the best option. If you're simply building a small website or sending some emails, you probably don't need it. But if you're looking to start an actual business or run an agency, it has all the features you could possibly imagine. You can collect leads, convert them into customers, deliver your product or service all using HighLevel, and pretty much do all your marketing and sales into this one app. So you can skip paying for a hosting provider, a booking software, an email provider, and so much more. And that can save you hundreds per month alone. Not to mention the time and effort that you save by keeping everything in one place, instead of having 15 different integrations that always mess up. And so even if you're just getting started, I do think HighLevel is worth it if you're planning to take it seriously, because instead of having to get new softwares and deal with tech time and time again as you grow, everything's already in your HighLevel account. HighLevel also has a pretty strong community support because there are a lot of people using it, so lots of templates and things to get you started and help if you might need it. You also have unlimited of most things like contacts and users and websites, unlike many other platforms who penalize you for growing, which I really don't like. HighLevel is actually built for a little bit smaller to medium-sized companies that want to grow, and they want your email list to get bigger. They want you to get more views. They want your company to succeed so that you upgrade to the next plan. Now, of course, some issues include the learning curve because there are so many different features and interfaces that can be overwhelming, and that is actually a big problem for beginners. So try starting small and not divide all your attention into everything all at once, and you should be fine. And only use the features that you need. Don't worry about the rest, there are just too many features. But again, since there is a free trial, which shameless plug link in the description, to get a double free trial, I could sit here and say anything, but the best way to find out is to try it yourself. I mean, there's really no risk, so I just recommend you give it a try. And it might be the perfect operating system your business needs.